I do think that we're going to have a very difficult time getting back to the structural inflation levels that we've witnessed over the last, 20 to 30 years. I do think the new normal is going to be higher than 2% inflation. I think that if anything, I think it was an anomaly the last couple decades, just how low inflation has been. And I think part of that has been the long-term effects of, a country the size of China entering the WTO in 2001, sort of entering the global financial system and all the benign disinflation that came along with it. I do think that the low-hanging fruit has been picked there. And if anything, we're witnessing a world where the first and second largest economies in the world are increasingly at odds with one another and less likely to trade with one another. Of course, I'm speaking of the US and China. And so I think that's been a massive tailwind for disinflation over the last couple of decades that is likely to be reversing a little bit going forward. So I do think that the Fed is going to have a hard time getting it back down to 2%, particularly in the absence of some really, really deep recession.
The Fed will not be able to orchestrate a soft landing. The Fed's credibility is on the line here. Inflation is way too hot at over 8%. Historically, it has taken as long as 10 years for economies to bring inflation down to 2% once it exceeds 5%. The Fed is still talking about a 2% target. They're still being very aggressive.